What is up, crew? It is Monday. It is Spencer. Welcome to FT Real M. Have you noticed I literally just moved the camera and changed the shirt? Because that's what happened. This week, our topic is on siblings. Coming out to siblings, about our siblings. Siblings. As I mentioned before, I'm your new Monday guy, so you guys will be seeing me starting the week every week, and I'm excited to do that. Siblings. First, let me tell you about my siblings. I have two. I have a twin brother and an older brother. For me, that distinction is important, and they both acted very differently to everything. So my older brother is who I will start with first. My older brother is 2 years older than us, and you would think he'd be just as liberal, but he is actually very conservative. He did not and still does not see me as a trans individual, as a non-binary individual. He does not call me by my preferred name and pronouns, and he just kind of makes this thing where he's like, I love you and respect you, but not really. He doesn't like kick me out or not want me around. He very much so wants me around. He just doesn't want, I don't know if it's to acknowledge it or to I don't know what the right word is. He's having a hard time accepting it. He's very loving. He helps me out a lot, and he still does, even when he found out. And he is taking his time with it. My twin brother is 100% supportive now. I want you guys to check out my FTM Transtastic video that I'm actually doing on Tuesday that talks about being trans and being twins, because I don't want to make this video like an hour long. And that video goes into it very well. So being a twin is an identity that I hold very close, which I said yesterday. So the thing with this is it's not just, hey, I'm transitioning, call me these pronouns, call me this name, go on with life. There's so much that goes into being a trans twin. One of it being that such a big part of your life for so long you were taught that you were supposed to be similar from your names down to the way you act. So it's kind of shocking when the person that you've literally shared a womb with for 9 months differs in something so huge, such as the core of themselves. My twin brother identifies as a heterosexual male. He never had any LGBT influence and never thought I would or did either. Like, shocked is an understatement to find out that I was trans and to find out that I had such a disconnect with my mental and my physical. One of the biggest things for him is that since we do talk about everything, and we always have since we were 13 years old, every day, literally, we had a conversation, even when we didn't go to the same high school, and even when we didn't go to the same middle school, and even when we didn't go to the same college. We did things like in high school, since I had an hour lunch in a car, I would drive to his school and eat lunch with him every day. And he would just leave school 10 minutes early from his 4th period class every day, and we did that. And he would get detention, I kid you not, every week for a month and a half until they just said, fuck it. Like, we were very close, and I didn't tell him. One of it was fear of just, my career. I went into the military right after our high school. I graduated early, so I went right after high school, and Don't Ask, Don't Tell was still in effect. So I didn't want anyone to know, especially when it came to security clearances, because I am a high security clearance for my job because I was in intelligence. So I didn't want anyone to know, and the only way I can make sure that no one would say anything was if no one knew, including him. So that was a big one. Another one was I went to a private school while he went public. So even though he had more like diversity and he probably would have understood more, I was fearful because no one at my school was LGBT. I graduated in a class of 22 people and no one was LGBT, and it like terrified me to even come out as gender questioning because everyone was so sure of themselves and I wasn't. So I kept it hidden, and he was very upset about that. Another thing he was upset about was my name. His name is Ellington, and Spencer and Ellington obviously aren't close at all. My birth name and his name are very close, and it's part of being a twin, it's similar names. So he was upset that I didn't go that route. But there's many reasons that I didn't go that route that we're not going to get into, but he came around when I gave him full control of choosing my middle name. So he's okay with it now, but before he thought that it was like attack on our twin identity when he realized that my name and his name weren't going to be similar. And the last thing really is my pronouns. My twin brother is very adamant on using they, them, and everyone to use they, them. He's more adamant about it than I am, and I'm very thankful for him for that. When asked how many siblings he has, he always says, I have a twin and an older brother. The most important thing everyone seems to think about is the twin, and I understand why. I think it's the most important thing too. But the next question, always without fail, is are you fraternal and identical? Or are you fraternal or identical? And are they a boy or a girl? Now that I came out as non-binary, he has no hesitation in saying that my twin is non-binary and does not identify with one of the genders. And in some spaces it's perfectly fine, but my twin brother has no queer friends at all. Like, he doesn't have any, the only LGBT person he knew for a while was me, and not because he's homophobic, but because that just wasn't the group of people he hung out with. So all of his friends are like, what? Like, they're confused, and it's always a conversation, and I should get used to it. I honestly should be used to always having to have a conversation with people, but it's always a conversation, and it's a conversation and a battle that he's willing to take up, but I'm just sometimes so tired with it. You know, it's something that's I'm always going to have to face, especially since this world's so binary. So it's like, I don't know. He struggles with the pronouns. Not because he doesn't see me as they, them, but because he's not conditioned to it. And he feels very upset when he messes up, and that hurts me because it's not, I know he doesn't mean to, and I think he knows I know he doesn't mean to, but he has a lot of guilt of me not being able to live my life fully for such a long time. And even though it wasn't his fault, he feels like as a twin, he should have known. And he has a lot of guilt for that. And that's sad because there's no way he knew, you know? My twin brother is my biggest supporter, and I love him to death. And he honestly has made me the individual that I am today and continues to support me and encourage me through this process. So coming out to siblings can be hard, especially with the relationship you have. My older brother and I aren't close. My twin brother and I are extremely close. And, you know, reactions tend to be based on that. Personally, I think the younger they are, the easier it is, simply because, you know, they tend to be in a more accepting age. And, you know, the closer you are, the easier it is. But I definitely understand the struggle with coming out to siblings and how hard it is, especially when it comes to being twins, if you are that. So I hope this helps. I have to work on a different saying because I can't say gearing up for a better week when it's the beginning of the week. So I hope you had a phenomenal weekend and are excited for this week. I'll work on it. It's Monday. It's Spencer. Until next time.